I poisoned my sister's champagne flute with a single drop of truth serum, not the kind that loosens tongues, but the kind that dissolves illusions forever. She'd stolen my fiancé, my inheritance, and my alibi for the hit-and run that should have been hers, leaving me to rot in juvie while she played the golden child.
Now,
Uninvited to her perfect Hamptons wedding, I wasn't crashing it. I was rewriting the fairy tale, one viral post at a time, from the sun-drenched cliffs of Italy. The invitation never came. Not even a polite email, a text, or one of those passive-aggressive group chats my family loves to pretend aren't passive-aggressive. Just silence, thicker than the fog rolling off Long Island Sound on a bad morning. My sister, Lauren, the one who'd always been the sun to my shadow, was getting married to Ethan, my Ethan, the guy who'd proposed to me under the Brooklyn Bridge with a ring that cost more than my first car. And me, I was persona non grata, blacklisted like some tabloid scandal waiting to happen. It started 6 months ago, in the sterile glow of our family lawyer's office in Manhattan. Dad's will had been read like a death sentence, the bulk of his real estate empire to Lauren, the responsible one, and scraps for me, enough to keep the lights on in my cramped Astoria apartment, but not enough to chase the dreams he'd once whispered I'd inherit. "You're the fighter, Kylie," he'd say, his voice gravelly from too many cigars and boardroom battles. "Lauren's the charmer. Together, you're unstoppable." But together, we hadn't been that since high school, when she started dating Ethan behind my back, whispering sweet nothings while I was out slinging lattes to pay for community college. The real gut punch, though, wasn't the money. It was the secret we'd buried deeper than Dad's ashes in that overpriced urn on the mantel. 10 years ago, on a rain-slicked night in the Hamptons, Lauren had wrapped her daddy's Porsche around a tree after one too many vodka sodas at a beach party. The passenger? Some nobody kid from the wrong side of the tracks, high on whatever teens chase to forget their empty futures. He didn't make it. Lauren walked away with scratches and a sob story. But the cops? They smelled privilege. One wrong move, and her Yale application would have been DOA. Enter me, the loyal little sister, 19 and stupidly in love with the idea of family. I confessed. Said it was me behind the wheel. Me who'd panicked and fled. Juvenile court was a blur of public defenders and tearful testimonies. But I got off light community service, probation, a record that haunted every job interview since. Lauren? She got sympathy fucks from Ethan and a fast track to Columbia, where she majored in how to fake perfection. I didn't hate her then. Not really. Hate takes time to fester, like mold in a forgotten fridge. It bloomed slow, fertilized by the little digs, her Instagram reels of brunches I wasn't invited to, the family Christmas cards with airbrush smiles and captions like, "Blessed beyond measure." Ethan proposed to her last summer, on the same beach where he'd dumped me 2 years prior, citing irreconcilable differences that sounded a lot like, "Your sister's tits are perkier." By the time the wedding invites went out, linen envelopes with gold foil, addressed to everyone from tech bros in Silicon Valley to old money widows in Palm Beach, I was done playing the villain in my own life. I booked a one-way ticket to Florence on a whim, maxing out the credit card Dad's estate had grudgingly left me. Italy wasn't escape, it was ammunition. If Lauren wanted a fairy tale, I'd give her one, with me as the wicked stepsister who didn't just show up uninvited, but hijacked the whole damn narrative. Touching down at Amerigo Vespucci, the air hit me like a lover's slap, olive-scented, sun-warmed, laced with the diesel hum of Vespas zipping through cobblestone alleys. I rented a Fiat so tiny it felt like stealing a toy, and drove straight to a crumbling villa in the Chianti Hills. The kind of place Airbnb markets as rustic charm but smells like regret and Chianti residue. My host, a leathery old nana named Rosa, eyed me like I was smuggling contraband. "Americana," she muttered, handing over the keys. Always running from something. She wasn't wrong. That first night, jet-lagged and wine-drunk, I scrolled through Lauren's wedding registry on my phone, crystal stemware from Tiffany's, a his and hers Rolex set that could have bought my forgiveness 10 times over. The comments poured in. "So happy for you too. Power couple goals." Ethan's profile pic, him in a tailored suit, arms slung around her waist, both grinning like they'd invented love. I hurled my phone across the room. It cracked against the terracotta wall, spiderwebbing the screen like my resolve. But cracks let light in. Or poison, depending on how you look at it. I dusted off my old Canon, the one Dad bought me for my 16th birthday, back when he thought I'd be a photographer, not a felon, and started snapping. Not the pretty postcards, the real Italy, the underbelly. Dawn markets where vendors hawked bruised figs and whispered curses at tourists. Abandoned olive groves choked with vines. Shadows pooling like spilled ink. Me, in thrift store sundresses, posing with a feral grace that said fuck you to every filter Lauren ever used. By day 3, I'd posted the first reel, me twirling on a cliffside overlooking the Arno, wind whipping my hair into Medusa snarls. Caption: uninvited to the party? I'll throw my own. Ciao from the real fairy tale. Exiled princess, Italy revenge. It was half joke, half war cry. Likes trickled in 50, 100 from forgotten high school friends and that one ex-coworker who'd always hated Lauren. Then, overnight, it exploded. 10K views. Comments like "queen shit" and "spill the tea." Sis, what did she do? I spilled nothing. Not yet. Revenge isn't a sprint, it's a slow roast. I messaged a freelance videographer I'd found on Reddit, a scrappy Italian-American kid named Marco who smelled desperation like blood in the water. I need a wedding, I told him over espresso that tasted like regret. Not real. Cinematic. Make it hurt. He grinned, all teeth and mischief. How hurt? Like rom-com or Tarantino? Both, I said. But no blood. Just the kind that stains souls. We scouted locations. A forgotten castle in the Mugello Valley, its turrets clawing at the sky like arthritic fingers. A chapel in a vineyard, stained glass fractured by time, casting rainbows on dust motes that danced like ghosts. I bought a gown off the rack in Siena, ivory silk, off the shoulder, with a train that dragged through mud like a guilty conscience. No veil, just a crown of wild poppies, thorns pricking my scalp as a reminder. Beauty bites. The ceremony was staged over 2 days, Marco's drone capturing every angle. I walked the aisle alone, reciting vows to the wind. I promise to honor the girl you buried, to unearth the lies you planted, to bloom where you tried to wither me. Cut to me, exchanging rings with a stand-in, a local goat herder named Luigi, who blushed beet red and mumbled something about his nana's lasagna. We danced under string lights strung between cypress trees, me in slow circles with invisible ghosts. Ethan's face superimposed in my mind. Posted at midnight. Eastern Time, prime wedding eve hour for the Hamptons crowd. My fairy tale starts now. No +1s required. Stolen bride viral vengeance. Views skyrocketed. 100K, 500K, a million by breakfast. Hashtags trended. Kylie's Italy wedding. Uninvited sister. Reposts from influencers. Think pieces brewing on BuzzFeed. Is this the ultimate clapback or just petty AF? Lauren's response? A DM. Frantic and font enlarged. What the hell? Kylie? This is insane. Dad would be ashamed. I screenshotted it. Pinned it to my story with a single emoji, crown. Ashamed?
No. Sis.
He'd be proud. For once, I was the one charming the room. But virality's a double-edged sword. By week 2, the trolls descended. Cringe alert, rent a therapist. Not a villa. Bet she's the reason the sister's cutting her off. Check the mugshot. Yeah. Someone dug up my juvie record. The comments twisted. Oh. So you're the reckless one. No wonder they ditched you. My inbox flooded. Hate mail from Ethan's frat bros. Pity porn from women's groups. Marco laughed it off over gelato. Fames like Limoncello. Kylie. Sweet till it burns. He didn't know the half. The burn was just starting. I'd planted seeds back home. Anonymous tips to podcast a buddy in Brooklyn who owed me for covering his shift at that dive bar. Dig into Lauren Hargrove. I whispered over burner apps. The wedding's a sham. And that hit and run? Wrong, sister.
He bit.
Hookless. Episodes dropped. The Hamptons heiress. Fairy tale or facade. Lauren's wedding day dawned humid. The kind of sticky that clings like regret. I watched the live stream, hacked via a sympathetic cousin's login from my villa balcony. Prosecco fizzing in a chipped glass. She looked ethereal in lace that cost more than my flight. Ethan beaming like he'd won the lottery. Vows exchanged.
Cake cut.
First dance to some overplayed Ed Sheeran track. But midway through the toasts, her phone buzzed. Mine did too. A text from the podcaster. Leaks out.
Cops circling.
Your move. I raised my glass to the screen. To new beginnings, I murmured. The fairy tale was mine now. But fairy tales have wolves. And mine was circling closer than she knew. The backlash hit like a nor'easter, whipping up waves of doubt that crashed over my carefully curated feed. 1 minute, I was the underdog bride stealing the spotlight. The next, I was the bitter ex stirring shit from across the Atlantic. TMZ ran a blurb. Heiress Cisco's rogue in Italy. Is this wedding sabotage? Fox News called it millennial entitlement on steroids. Even my aunt in Boca chimed in on Facebook. Kylie. Honey. Get over it. Family's family. Family. The word tasted like bile. I paced the villa's creaky floors. Rosa's tabby cat eyeing me from the windowsill like it knew my sins. Marco showed up with croissants and a laptop, his eyes wide as saucers. You're at 5 mil views. Bella. Brands are calling. Vogue wants an exclusive. But he trailed off, flipping open the screen to a Reddit thread. r/AI the asshole. AITA for exposing my sister's hit-and-run lie during her wedding week. The post was mine. Laced with just enough detail to hook without hanging myself. Upvotes poured in, 12K. Comments a battlefield. NTA, justice served cold. Versus white EA, let it go. It's her day. The polarization was delicious. A Rorschach test for every grudge nursed in America's fractured heart.
Me?
I scrolled till my thumbs cramped, feeding on the chaos like a vampire at a blood bank. Lauren called that afternoon, first time in years. I let it ring twice. Heart hammering, before picking up on speaker so Marco could film the raw footage. Kylie. You bitch, she hissed. Voice a cocktail of champagne bubbles and hysteria. The Hamptons' reception thrummed in the background. Laughter. Clinking glasses. Some uncle droning about stock tips. That podcast? The cops? What the fuck are you doing? Telling the truth, I said, calm as Lake Como. You remember that night?
Don't you?
The Porsche's headlights cutting through the rain. That kid's face in the dash glow. You floored it, Lauren. I just cleaned up. Silence. Then a sob, real or rehearsed. Who knows? You were always jealous. Dad loved me more. Ethan chose me. And now this, my wedding's ruined. Guests are whispering. Ethan's family wants blood, figuratively. Thank God. A pause. Laced with venom. Come back. Apologize. We can fix it. For Dad. Dad. The ghost she wielded like a shank. I laughed, sharp and ugly. Fix it? Like you fixed me? Probation hearings at 16. Jobs lost to background checks. Therapy bills I can't pay.
No. Sis.
I'm building something here. Watch. I hung up, ended the call with a flourish Marco caught in slow-mo. We edited that night, splicing her tears with my cliffside dances. Vows over vows. The drop, the call that broke the spell. Sister versus sister, truth or dare. It hit 20 mil by dawn. Algorithms feasting on the drama. Influencers dissected it, podcasters, TikTok, therapists, even a segment on The View where Whoopi cackled. Girl, that's some Shakespearean shit right there. But fame's funhouse mirrors distort fast. Ethan slid into my DMs next. We need to talk. Lauren's spiraling. This isn't you. Wasn't me? The guy who'd ghosted me for her. Who'd toasted her innocence at that engagement party while I nursed a beer in the corner. I replied with a screenshot of our old texts, the ones where he'd called her crazy and me his rock. Remember this? Or did she rewrite that too? His response, a voice note. Voice cracking like cheap crystal. Kylie.
Please.
I love her.
But.
There are things you don't know. Meet me halfway, fly back. We can sort the money, the lies. Make it right. Halfway. As if Betrayal had a median strip. I deleted it, but not before Marco archived everything. Insurance, he said, winking. Italians no vendettas.
He was right.
Rosa, overhearing from the kitchen, nodded sagely while kneading dough.
La famiglia è una trappola. She muttered.
Family's a trap. She'd lost a brother to the mafia whispers in Palermo. Or so the village gossip went. But blood? It calls you back.
It did.
Dreams clawed at me that week. Dad's funeral. Lauren clutching my hand in the front pew, whispering, "We'll get through this together."
Lies.
All of it. I woke sweating. The cat's purr a low rumble against my thigh. Time to escalate. I hired a local journalist, Sophia, a chain-smoking firebrand from La Repubblica who'd covered too many Berlusconi scandals to blush at mine. I want the full story, I told her over Pernod in a dive bar off the Ponte Vecchio. No holds barred. But frame it as redemption. My redemption. She arched a brow. Cigarette dangling. Redemption? This smells like revenge.
Kara.
The kind that ends in courtrooms or coffins.
Neither. I lied.
Just truth. We met sources. The kid's family. Still scraping by in a queen's walk-up. His mom's eyes hollow as quarried marble. They pinned it on her, she said. Voice a rasp. The rich girl. But the little sister. She took the fall. God bless her. Sophia recorded it all, weaving threads into a tapestry of privileges wrought. The piece dropped midweek. The Wrong Sister, a tale of two heiresses and one fatal night. Italy ate it up, editorials on class warfare. Tweets in broken English. American sisters.
Molto drama.
Back home. It ignited wildfires. CNN looped talking heads. Is Kylie a hero or a homewrecker? Protests brewed outside the Hargrove offices in Midtown, feminists with signs, sisters over secrets. Conservatives decrying woke vigilantism. Lauren's wedding album vanished from socials. Ethan's firm put him on leave. My follower count? 8 figures.
Som por zimbom, at leisure brandes pedlin impovermente were a romance novelist hawking Betrayal memoirs.
Rosa threw a feast that night. Wild boar ragu. Bottles of Brunello uncorked till the labels peeled. Marco raised a glass. To the viral villainous. I clinked, but the wine soured on my tongue. Villainous.
Was that me?
The girl who'd confessed to save her sister. Who'd loved Ethan till he carved his name on her heart with a dull knife. Or was it Lauren? Flipping scripts like a pro wrestler. From victim to viper? A package arrived next morning. FedEx from the States. No sender. Just a velvet box. Inside. The engagement ring, the Brooklyn Bridge 1. Diamonds winking like false promises. Note in Ethan's scrawl. Yours always.
Come home.
End this. My hands shook as I slipped it on. The fit still perfect. Home. The word echoed. A siren's call. But sirens drown you. I boxed it back. Added a USB drive. Clips of Lauren's call. The podcast leaks. My Jivy file digitized for posterity. Addressed to the DA's office in Suffolk County. Truth serum, I whispered. Sealing it. Marco drove me to the post office. Radio blasting Springsteen, Born to Run. Ironic as hell. You sure? He asked, idling at the curb. Sure as sin, I said. The envelope vanished into the slot. A guillotine's whisper. No turning back. That night, the wolves howled louder. Lauren's lawyer, a slick midtown shark named Hargrove and Associates Own, sent a cease and desist. Defamation. Harassment. Will bury you. I forwarded it to Sophia, who laughed over Zoom. Barry? Honey, you're exhuming. The piece hits US. Wires tomorrow. Virality peaked. 50 mil views. My face on billboards in Times Square, thanks. Some rogue ad buy. But the high cracked. A call from mom, first in months. Voice frail as rice paper. Kylie. Baby. Lauren's in the hospital. Stress. The babies. Complications. Baby. Ethan's. Ours. Once upon a dream. Guilt slithered in. Cold and coiling. Was this the fairy tale? Or a nightmare scripted in blood ink? I booked a flight, round trip this time. Italy had given me wings. America would clip them. Or sharpen the claws. JFK's baggage claim felt like wading through a fever dream. Fluorescent lights, buzzing like angry hornets. I'd swapped the gown for jeans and a hoodie. Poppies wilted in my carry-on like forgotten dreams. But the stairs followed me, phones snapping discreet pics. Whispers rippling. That's her. The Italy girl. Marco had stayed behind, promising to hold the fort with teaser posts. The exile returns. Stay tuned. Fairy tale twist. Mom waited curbside in her old Mercedes. looking shrunken, like grief had vacuum-sealed her.
No hug.
Just a limp handshake and get in. Lauren's at Mount Sinai. The drive to the city crawled through Queens traffic. Radio droning NPR. My story. Dissected by ethicists. Vigilante justice in the social media age. Empowering or erosive. Mom switched it off. Lips thin. You happy now? My girls? Tearing each other apart like alley cats. Not happy, I said, staring at the skyline's jagged teeth. Just even. She didn't ask for details, she never did. Mom's specialty was selective blindness. The kind that let Dad's affairs slide and Lauren's phases pass as quirks.
Me?
I was the phase that stuck, the black sheep with the felony fleece. Mount Sinai's halls smelled of bleach and broken promises. Monitors beeping like accusatory fingers. Lauren lay in a private suite, pale as the sheets, for dripping saline into veins I'd once traced as kids playing doctor. Ethan slumped in the corner armchair, tie askew, eyes red-rimmed. He stood when I entered, fists clenched. You came. Someone had to, I said, dropping my bag by the door. Lauren stirred, eyes fluttering open, blue as Dad's, but colder. Kylie. Her voice.
A rasp.
You win. Okay.
Just.
Stop.
When?
The word hung. Absurd. I pulled up a stool, close enough to smell her Chanel no.
5.
The perfume she'd stolen from my drawer in high school. There's no winning here.
Lore.
Just truth. You owe that kid's mom a lifetime. You owe me one too. She turned away,
cheek hollowing.
I was scared. Dad would have killed me. You were always the strong one. Strong. Code for disposable. Ethan shifted, clearing his throat. Kylie, listen. The baby's fine. False alarm. But Lauren. She told me everything. The crash. The confession. I didn't know. Not till the podcast. Bullshit. I'd seen the texts. The late-night calls where he played confidant to her what-ifs. But I let it slide. Too tired for round 2. So, what now? Cease and desist part 2? Or do we pretend it's all a bad rom-com? He knelt, actually knelt, taking my hand like we were in some Lifetime movie. The ring glinted on my finger, mocking us. Marry me. For real. In Italy.
If you want.
Lauren and I. It's over. She lied to me too. About the money. The will. Dad cut her a deal. Your share for her silence on the crash. I found the papers.
Twist.
The room spun. Lauren's gasp a punctuation mark. Ethan. No. But he silenced her with a look. The kind lovers share when the bloom wilts. My mind raced, the will reading. Dad's waiver. Lauren's smug smile. She'd blackmailed him? Our father. The unbreakable Hargrove patriarch. You knew. I whispered to her. She nodded. Tears carving tracks. He was dying.
Kylie.
Cancer. Didn't want scandal. Said it'd taint the legacy. I agreed. For us. For the family.
Us.
Family. The trap Rosa warned of. Jaws snapping shut. Rage boiled, but laced with pity, for her. For the girl who'd traded sisterhood for a crown. And the wedding? The baby? Fake. Ethan cut in. The positive test staged. To lock me in. Keep the shares. She's been playing us both. Polarization incarnate. Lauren. The schemer unmasked. Decisions stacking like Jenga blocks on the edge of collapse. I yanked my hand free. Standing. You two deserve each other. Liars breeding liars. But as I stormed the hall, Ethan's voice chased. Kylie.
Wait.
The video, Marco sent it. Your fairy tale. It's trending again. But there's more. Check your phone. I did. Heart thudding. A clip. Time-stamped yesterday, Lauren. In our childhood home study. Rifling drawers. She pulls a ledger, Dad's. Leather-bound, flipping to a page marked Kale. My initials. Voiceover. Marcos. Found this in the villa attic. Nana had a safe. Inheritance addendum. Kylie gets it all, if she forgives. Forgives. The word burned. I scrolled comments. Forgive or forget splitting the internet anew. Feminists. Don't let the patriarchy pit sisters. Conservatives. Blood's thicker. And the vendetta. Debates raged in group chats. Barbershops. Book clubs. My story wasn't mine anymore. It was America's mirror. Reflecting every grudge from Watergate to Kardashian feuds. Back in the room, Lauren clutched the sheets. It's true. The codicil. Dad wanted you to rise above. Let her hate me, he wrote. But save her soul. Her eyes.
Pleading.
I hated you for it. For being the better one.
So I pushed.
The uninvite. The leaks to make you look crazy. But the baby? That was real. Miscarried last month. Ethan doesn't know I lied about the test to hold on. Layers upon layers. Flips like a bad poker hand. Ethan. Oblivious.
Paste.
We can fix this. Joint statement. Charity for the kids' family. Your Italy thing, turn it into a docuseries. Profit share. Profit. The American dream snake oil. I laughed. Bitter. You think this is about money? It's about the weight. 10 years carrying your sins. Lauren. And you? You danced on my grave. She reached out. Fingers trembling. Then let me carry yours.
Confess.
I'll do the time. You get the villa, the empire. Start over. Temptation slithered. Sweet as limoncello. The good ending. Sister redeems. Viral villain becomes viral saint. But the dark? Walk away. Let the DA's envelope land. Watch her empire crumble from Chianti's heights. Polarizing choice. No heroes. Just survivors. I chose neither. Write it, I said, shoving a notepad at her. Your confession.
Public.
Post it yourself. She nodded. Pen shaking. Ethan watched. Torn, love for her warring with lust for me. Or maybe just the spotlight. I left them to it, hailing a cab to Astoria. My apartment waited, dusty and defiant, fridge stocked with takeout containers like old friends. Phone buzzed nonstop. Agents. Producers. That podcaster buddy begging for the sequel. I ignored them, uncorked a cheap Chianti knockoff, and drafted my own post, the twist no one saw coming. Forgiveness isn't free. But truth? It's the only ring worth wearing. End of the tale. Views climbed as I slept, the internet holding its breath. The confession dropped at 3 a.m. My time, prime doomscroll hour for insomniacs and influencers. Lauren's account. Verified blue check mocking the mess. a tear-streaked selfie in hospital scrubs. Words tumbling like an avalanche. I stole my sister's life. The crash was mine. The lies, the love, the legacy, all mine to ruin. Forgive me? I don't deserve it. But here's the truth, linked to full statement. Attached, the ledger scan. My Juvie file annotated with her forgery. Even ultrasound pics faked with Photoshop timestamps. Internet Armageddon. Lauren confesses trended above election watch. Servers straining under the weight of outrage and olive branches. Her followers, once 200K of aspirational wives, plummeted to 5K. Comments a coliseum. Rot in jail. You monster. Versus human error. Give her grace. Ethan's profile went dark. Whispers of divorce filings hit TMZ by breakfast. The DA's office issued a statement, reviewing new evidence. No charges at this time. Pending investigation. No charges. The fairy tale's fine print. Justice in America bends for the bent. I woke to 100 mil views on my last post. Inbox a war zone. Oprah-level offers for tell-alls. Invites to TED Talks on resilience in the age of revenge. Rosa texted from Italy. Villa waits.
Figlia.
With goats. Marco followed. Docuseries greenlit. You direct? But victory tasted like ash. Mom called from a hospital. She sedated. Talking therapy. Then prison prep. You did good.
Kylie.
Dad'd be proud.
Proud.
The word unlocked floods, sobs racking me on the fire escape. City hum a lullaby for the lost. Good? I'd unmade a family. Polarized a nation. Gone viral on the bones of betrayal. Was I avenger or arsonist? Ethan showed at dusk. Knocking soft as a confession. I let him in. Apartment lit by string lights salvaged from a stoop sale. Poor man's Italy. He looked wrecked, stubble shadowing jaw. Eyes like storm clouds over the sound.
She's gone.
Checked herself into a facility upstate. The will's being probated, yours? All of it. The empire. The beach house. Even the Porsche. He paused, handing over keys, literal and figurative. I sold my share. Bought out your half of the Astoria place. It's yours free and clear. I took them. Metal cold.
Why?
Because I loved you first. And last. He stepped closer. Scent of his cologne, sandalwood and regret, stirring ghosts. The Italy videos? They weren't revenge. They were you. Blooming. Marry me. Not for show. For real. The proposal hung. A cliffhanger. Readers would have rioted. Team Ethan, the redeemed groom, or Kylie solo, queen of her castle? I thought of Lauren's notepad scrawl. I forgive you for hating me. Hate me more if it frees you. The twist she'd planted. Or maybe Dad's. From beyond the grave. I kissed him then, not soft, not sweet, but hungry, like reclaiming stolen time. One condition, I murmured against his lips. Italy. The real one. No cameras.
No virality.
Just us. He nodded, grin cracking through the gloom.
Deal.
We flew out a week later. Villa waiting like a faithful dog. Rosa greeted with hugs and limoncello shots, Marco. With a rough cut of the series, Fairy Tale Fractured. Narrated by yours truly. It premiered at Sundance 6 months on. Oscar buzz humming. But I skipped the after-parties for Chianti sunsets. Lauren wrote from rehab. Postcards edged in institutional blue. Words sparse. Building from ruins. Miss you. Sister sentenced. She got probation, community service at the kids' mom's nonprofit. Irony's bitter cherry. Ethan and I, we wed in that vineyard chapel.
Poppies in my hair. Thorns dulled by time.
The viral wave crested. Then ebbed, new scandals stealing the spotlight. My face fading to footnote. But the debates lingered. Water cooler wars over. Was Kylie right?
Forum fractured.
Philosophers pontificated. Even a psych study on schadenfreude in sibling rivalries. No one's hands clean. Mine's sticky with spite. Lauren's with secrets. Ethan's with complicity. Happy ending?
For some.
Biopic for others. Tragic rise of a digital Icarus.
Me?
I tend olives now.
Camera gathering dust.
Revenge was the hook. But forgiveness? That's the twist that sticks. Or maybe it's just the American way. Win some. Lose the soul.
Post about it.
Either way, the fairy tale's mine. And damn if it doesn't end with a bang. Epilogue whispers. Last month, Lauren visited, parole approved.
Gaunt but glowing.
We walked the groves. Silent till the Arnos bend. Trade places, she asked. Half joke. I shook my head.
Nah.
This suits me. She smiled. First real one in years. Wolves sated.
For now.
But in America's dark heart, they always circle back.